Welcome to the Geneva Lake Conservancy. Love letters to the lake from our summer event.
Well, I am out in the deep with my friend. She spots a fish and screams. We both swim to her pier while breathing the hardest and fastest we can. I look at her, she looks at me with the same expression. We both burst out laughing. I lay back down on my burning hot chair and hear the distant laughter of children along the shore. Once again, I take a gulp of lemonade and gaze at the beautiful lake before me.
This letter was written by a 12-year-old boy. Lake Geneva, every time I go out there, although I know the lake pretty well by now, I learn lots of new things about it. Each time it seems like I'm exploring a newly discovered land.
I have a picture of me, the lake in the background, my hair whipping across my face. Life then was so much simpler, full of hopes and an unexpected life ahead. I married that man. This year we celebrate 34 years of marriage and 38 years of knowing each other.
Waves are one of two things. They are either eternal, forever washing up and receding and washing up again, or they are the most temporary of moments, destined to hit a shore once and then die.
I recall specks of time. The time I strayed off the lake path while talking to a long-winded friend on my cell phone. I got lost on a road for a good hour while he babbled. He died a year ago. So now when I reach the same spot, I don't think of that time as an inconvenience of a lost hour, nor do I think of his talk as babble. I just remember it as a time that was found with an old friend.
July 22nd, 1892. Two young boys were fishing on the south shore. A huge serpent emerged from the water with its mouth stretched open and its several rows of razor-sharp hooked teeth plain to see. After giving the local fishermen the fright of their lives, the creature was said to turn and slowly sink back under the water. Did this really happen? Let's say that it did.
Ever since my family owned a summer cottage at Cedar Point when I was a little girl, I have had a love affair with the lake. The smell, the beautiful water, the ducks, the boats, and most especially the shore path and friendly people. Nothing has ever compared to the way I feel about the lake.
Lake Geneva is more to me than a beautiful place. It represents and reflects many of the best moments of my life. I rescued the girl who was my first love from a sailboat on the lake. My wife married me on the shore of this lake. Geneva Lake has had plenty of time and opportunity to sink deeply into my heart, and certainly enough for me to want to protect it.
Chicago, the Tribune, July 1900. The columnist writes of a very special newspaper courier of the canine kind. From the mailboat, he is seen with his jaws apart, his pearly white teeth making the shape of the vice-like receptacle into which the paper is grabbed. And then he rushes off the pier, away, off and over a sloping lawn to the veranda, where master or mistress is waiting on the faithful carrier.
One summer weekend morning, my 11-year-old daughter says to me, "I know what we can do to remember this year of me being 11. We can walk around the lake." We live directly across the street from Geneva Lake, Wisconsin, and there's a path that runs completely around it. Parts of the path are very rough. I have been told that it takes about 12 hours of brisk walking just to get around it. I'm afraid that she'll really be hurting in the morning, but in fact she will pop out of bed, while it will be 3 days before I'm walking normally again. My daughter looks up at the clear sky. "You know, Daddy, we started with the sun and ended with the moon." I reply, "So we did. 50 years from now," she says, "if I ever do walk on the moon, I'll probably be just part of a tour group." But not many people can say they walked from the sun to the moon. I reply, "No, not many."
When I left you, it is possible that I had taken you for granted. I believed you were a lake, like any other lake, and that you were not particularly special. But I was wrong. You are the most special place in the world to me. And I'm not saying I want you back or anything. I'm just saying I miss you, and I think of you often. Wherever I live, you are my home. We hope you enjoyed our letters to the lake. Please continue to support the Geneva Lakes Conservancy as we protect the environmental character of the Geneva Lakes area.